Hello and welcome back, everybody. I am Bahamut, your caster. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having Brawllace, and on the right, we're going to be having Baryonyx, which I keep wanting to read completely different, but we'll hopefully adjust to that throughout this entire night. This is a Division 5 matchup for Heroes Lounge. We had a bit of a swap at the last second. We were going to be doing the matchup between House of Ches versus Church of Murky, but it is not going to be happening this evening. So we jumped onto the Division 5 matchup here just so at least we can get something in front of your faces, get some great games. So we are going to be going right into that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, I have swapped over to a new microphone, so I hope it sounds good, and I hope you all, it's not like being all weird and wonky on you. I've been testing it throughout like the weekend and all day, and I think I got my gate, and I think I got everything kind of all set and nice and the way that I like it. But we'll talk, while we have these bans going on, we can talk about the fact that we did have map bans. Coin flip was won by the members of Brawllace. They went ahead and banned out Dragonshire. They also went for first pick. Brax's holdout was banned out by the members of Baryonyx, and first map is chosen by Baryonyx, and that is going to be Infernal Shrines. Dragonshire was banned out. So, we got this. We have no Mal'Ganis, no Varian, no Orphea, no Kael'thas. So it's a lot of good on the side of Baryonyx. They're taking away a lot of that shrine clear, a lot of that aggression. I really like the start of this draft for them. The other thing, too, is taking away the Mal'Ganis and the Varian. Two strong heroes. The lockdown from Varian can be very big, as well as just a strong Mal'Ganis player is really hard to kill. First pick Jaina on the side of Brawllace. They're starting out with their shrine clear. They're also going to get some wave clear with this. They could go into something like an Azmodan. We'll see if that's the route. Just please, please, please. That will be a Malfurion and Garrosh to start, though, on the side of Baryonyx. So they're looking to have that set up with the taunt you can get the toss. You can also get the AoE taunt, but there's a root underneath it. If Malfurion goes for the... Oh, it's not Strangling Roots. I think Strangling Roots is the broccoli talent, but there's a talent where you can make the enlarged roots maybe, and there's the Azmodan. And it makes sense. I mean, you have Jaina to start this out with. She'll be able to have great wave clear. Joanna then follows that up. You have the Condemned to pull a lot of these members together. I personally am super pumped about this Azmodan. I bet it's going to be a Gluttony Azmodan, and I'm going to be all salty about it and judgy, but that's fine. Gluttony works absolutely well. It's just, you know, there's better talents. No. We do have bans coming out. They should actually target out supports in this realm right here. So something like an Alexstrasza or Stukov would be the way that I would go. Alexstrasza has a really, really great control around some of these points on the map. When she pops the dragon form, it's a little difficult to deal with. Some teams will then just back away, or they'll try and fight into it, and it doesn't really work out too well for them, especially Alexstrasza having the little mini gust that she has with those dragon wings. It'll be powerful for her. But looking over on the side of Brawllace, they're going to need some shrine clear on the other side, but they actually ban out the Li Ming. Good poke that comes out from Li Ming, but not the strongest in the shrine clear department. If you do get some of the resets and the kills, that doesn't really matter. We're looking at some supports, some solo laners, and some shrine clear. Realistically, I wouldn't hate the idea of something like a Thrall and maybe a Gul'dan. I think those two mages, or that mage and that solo laner, works well together. But they'll go for the Phoenix and they'll pick up the Malthael. So Malthael probably in the solo lane. Even then, if they're in the rotation with the Azmodan, against the Azmodan, that's going to be a bit of a strong push in rotation for them. These last two picks, though, they're going to need support. They're going to need solo laner. Solo lane's probably going to be into the Malthael. Okay. And a white mane. I'm wondering why the Maiev. Does that mean that they're going to put the Azmodan in the solo lane? Because if they do that into the Malthael, that's not going to be a good time. That's going to be a horrible time for that Azmodan player. Okay, Phoenix, they could just go for more shrine clear realistically. I still like the idea of a Gul'dan. They could go for something a little bit more on the bruisier side if they do want to just pick up the Sonya and have the Malthael and the rest of those, but they'll pick up the Chromie, an old one that we don't see a lot of teams play much anymore. Chromie has a really, really good ability to have that backline artillery and dump that damage from afar. The thing is, she really hyper fell off on maps like this. Like Infernal Shrine, she was really popular. Towers of Doom, she fell off when you were able to start seeing the projection spot of where the dragon strike? No, that's not right. Dragon Blast, that's not right. I can't think of it. But where you could see her actual reticle, where she's actually aiming for her W, that kind of throws off quite a bit of the Chromie play, because she was all about kind of throwing you one way with the Sandblast and then being able to use, you know, another ability to then just kind of get you with that big dump of damage. I'll check when we start out at some point. We are loading into the map, though. Thank you all for being here. It's much appreciated. Before we even started, Chase Dogman and Tom Frenzy, thank you for the follows. Right as we were getting into these games and I was setting up, I saw those go off. So I very, very much appreciate this. I also realized that I did not broadcast Breath of Dragonesses. You should let Bandit co-cast. He's like, he just sleeps though. That's the issue. All right, let's go ahead and get right into this. Here we go. On the left-hand side, we're going to be having Brawllace with Rutger going to be on the Azmodan. Honestly, is going to be on the Jaina. We'll have Auden on the Maiev. Flo at Heart is going to be on the White Mane, and we'll have Leviathan going to be on the Joanna. And on the right-hand side, we will be having Baryonyx with the Matrix Gate going to be on the Malthael. Netsui is going to be on the Malfurion. We'll have Starbuck going to be on the Chromie. Paper's going to be on that Garrosh. And we'll have JB Sheds on the Phoenix. Let's go ahead and get into this. And that is a Gluttony Azmodan. So they're going to be getting those cooldown reductions based on hitting heroes as well as minions. Auden is going to be tossed in right away. And they are going to have that blink out of there. But Leviathan has stepped forward as well to try and help out with this. And so far, nothing. No kills just yet, just some risky plays. It's coming out so far. And then we are going to be having Azmodan just continuing to poke out with those. And we'll keep an eye on the stacks, sitting at the 17 out of the 200 necessary for the cooldown reductions to start. JB Sheds is anchoring a little bit for the team in these rotations, trying to check and see where they're going. And that's the one thing that I'm curious about. Also, we're having 3 members go top, 4 members go top. This is not the strategy that I was expecting to come out from the members of Baryonyx. Yeah, Baryonyx, not Baryonyx. We'll have a Joanna in the mid lane. We'll have a Maiev in the bottom. It's like reverse lanes of this map right now. JB Sheds is getting a little bit low here. The toss is going to go out onto Honesty, and it's going to put them in a bit of a bad spot. They won't be falling just yet. They will hit the time trap, and that might be their death, as they are still getting the healing from White Mane. Dunks coming out from Azmodan, sitting at 44 stacks already in this top lane. Meanwhile, Joanna solo laning into Matrix Gate, who did not go for On a Pale Horse. And it doesn't allow them to make these quick rotations. If that was the intention, to have them rotate between these lanes in this manner, On a Pale Horse would definitely benefit them quite a bit more. Typical co-caster. I guess just the co-casters are always asleep. Meanwhile, top lane, we are going to be having this 4-member push still strong up here. We are going to be having Foul at Heart. Ooh, getting hit up a little bit here. And now we just have them disengaged. They will back off and maybe go for their camp on the right-hand side. No. They're just cycling around here, maybe just feigning that they're actually leaving the lane. They still have the Jaina and Joanna in this mid lane. And it's weird to see how that they're playing this, because it's not allowing the Azmodan to realistically stack 2 lanes at once. And on a map like this, where you definitely have rotations in that manner, might want to adjust some plays here. I do see that they are pushing 4 in top, but if you out-rotate them through the bottom and mid, that might be the better route to go. Either way. We have the first shrine activating in mid lane. Camp is going to be picked up on the right-hand side. That will start to push up there, and I don't think we're going to be seeing anything coming out from the members of Brawllace, as they... Oh, I was thinking that they might be going for the siege camp, and that will be picked up here. Leviathan will have to go back at some point for some mana before the next engagement. The shrine activates in 10 seconds. That does allow them to have this top lane push with the Bruiser camp on the side of... I'm going to keep doing it. Baryonyx. I kept wanting to say Baryonyx. I stayed at my buddy's house for a week, and it's just stuck. That's where I want to go with it. Bottom right camp will be picked up almost simultaneously with the left side. Now they can feed these two into each other. They'll get the clear onto this and just making a little bit of work for each other. And Foul at Heart gets tossed into the fray here. Doesn't look like they're going to be getting picked off just yet. The Ember Bind will connect on to Paper, pulling them right back into the friendly team. Meanwhile, Rutger is just going to be starting out the shrine and working their way through it. Whitemane keeping the friendly team healthy here, and I think we're going to be seeing our first engagement starting to break out, as that is going to be Groundbreaker coming out from the Garrosh. That will be some sand dumped onto a couple of these members in the backline. Leviathan getting really low. Matrix Gate will step forward. That is going to be the toss onto them, and that Johanna is in a bad spot. First kill of the game will be going over to the members of Baryonyx. I gotta stop there for a second. They will hold this point over, and with Jaina not present, or at least cleaning out that top lane pressure, they do have to kind of give this over for a few seconds, but Johanna is going to be back in 2 seconds. The death timers aren't the longest in the world. If they want to go in, they're going to have to go now. They're sitting at 30 out of the 40 stacks roughly, and that is a nice Dragon's Breath, right? Dragon's Breath. Okay, sorry. I looked over at Twitch chat. Zul Rules was trying to get me there. Right? Dragon's Breath. Okay. Breath of Dragoness. Just, Zul Rules, you just, subtle troll. We are going to be having the jump not connecting over the gate, so Leviathan will be pulled, damaged here, and they won't be able to pull it over by the tower to get those tower shots, so the front gate will be going down. We do have a root coming out onto Oddington, and not going to connect with the Dragon's Breath. I gotta keep saying it, so that way at least it'll stick with my brain. Garrosh gonna try and get Oddington there, and it's not gonna work out just yet, as Chromie's just gonna siege with the rest of the team in this mid lane. Meanwhile, top lane, we are gonna be having Phoenix pushing up here. Malthael's opening at bottom a little bit more. Nothing else really going down in any of the other lanes, as they rotate back off into top lane with their Asman sitting at 110 stacks currently. Going for the Art of Chaos at level 7. I mean, it does make sense. You do get some mana back. You are going to be getting some more stacks if you're hitting more people. But bombardment, yo. Cooldown reductions at 4. Oh! There's so many options. I'm just being judgy. It's my favorite character in the game. But Matrix and Foul are going to be battling it out. Auden is going to be down here as well. They should have the Umbral Bind onto one, but the rest of the team is responding, and I don't know if they're going to be able to all make it out. That is going to be the toss going out onto Whitemane, and I don't think she's going to be living much longer as Whitemane goes down, and that is the camp still picked up in favor for the members of Brawllace, but they got to be wary of the fact that they're starting to get picked off a little bit here and there. It is only 1-2 in kills. Nice toss going to be coming out from Garrosh. Not going to have the follow-up stun, and they back out of here relatively safely. The next shrine should be popping up fairly soon, as JB Sheds is getting pushed in by the Asmodean top lane. Is going to be needing to go back for more mana. Meanwhile, in mid, Leviathan is getting ganked here. The Unstoppable is used. They're trying to use everything to slow this Johanna down, but they just get some more poke damage. They'll probably have to tap well. You can maybe see, honestly, trying to get a little bit more on that stacking, only sitting at the 3,000 mark for the 15,000 needed. Meanwhile, Chromie's sitting at 26 out of the 60 necessary for that baseline Sand Blast talent. I keep looking over. I swapped up my monitors, and I keep looking over at the other one to look at where Twitch chat is, but it's on the other side now. Fallout Heart is going to be getting just worked on here, but Paper stepping super far forward. This might not work out for them. That is going to be a Garrosh disconnecting, and understandably why. And the pause comes out. Okay, we'll go ahead and bring it over to me. Hi, hello. Oh, okay. Alright, well, I guess we got an instantaneous, like... I DC'd, I'm back. Okay, so one side is all set. Let's get her ready from the other side. Team 1 are ready. Oh, I just capitalized the Y for no reason. All right, let's go ahead and bring it right back into the cast, and we are back. So, DC'd and right away back. Chromie will be asking for some assistance, as they are going to be wanting to pick up this camp here to feed that right into the top lane. As I said, the objective should be coming up fairly soon. JB Sheds is actually going to get harassed a bit by the Asmodean. Does have that shielding though, so that will be the big benefit. And that is going to be 10s for both teams. I'm just skimming through some of these talents. Really nothing too out of the ordinary when it comes to heroics for either of these teams. Siege Camp delayed out just a little bit to try and have that extra edge in the lane. Matrix could try and clear this out. It doesn't seem like that's really the goal for them, as they do pick up the Bruiser Camp for top lane. No pressure in bottom from either team because the camp is not picked up yet, but JB Shed's in a bit of a bad spot. Has to use the warp away. Oddington will have the Umbral Bind, but they get thrown over the gate, and that is going to be a big dunk from Asmodan, but it's a dead Maiev. And that's the way that they start this engagement. The Warden's Cage being a bit of a nuisance, and a nice pickup for the members. Oh my god. Baryonyx, not Brawllace. Baryonyx. Maltheo going to be diving in a little bit into the back line, falling a little bit low here. That is going to be the Purification Salvo coming out. Maltheo, the first one to go down from that Jaina Blast. That is going to be dunked from Asmodan coming out a little too early, and that is Jaina falling as well. A 1-for-1 trade. Chromie trying to dump some sand onto a couple of these members, and it's not connecting just yet. Leviathan taking a bit of damage. And Rutger will have to back off as well. Just going to continue to try and get some dunks out in there and poke at them. They are sitting at 184 stacks currently out of that 200 necessary for that cooldown reduction. And I do believe it's 0.25 for minions and 0.5 for heroes, so you can realistically get a pretty big cooldown in waves, but that is going to be a fight breaking out once again. They will get the toss onto Oddington, and they're looking for a kill. They do get the pick, and that is going to be the time trap onto Asmodan, who does get a dunk out, finishes out that quest, but that might be Leviathan going down. Meanwhile, Asmodan also rotating through the slowing sands. No one able to actually capitalize on that. JB Shed's taking quite a bit of damage. The dunk goes out once again, trying to also take away some of these skeletal defenders from them. On the side of Brawllace, Baryonyx working their way up towards Paper here. That seems to be the target they want to go for. The Blessed Shield comes out. They are trying to get the blinds, and they just want to get the damage. Paper not going down just yet with just about 200 health. They start to turn on this, and they know that it's a choke point that they do not want to enter. 22 to 30 in the Skeletal Defender range here. Matrix Gate is getting low as well as Paper. They need to find a couple more of these. They only need 10. Nice Dragon's Breath coming out. Gonna hit a couple of these members. They're gonna be stepping for it. Oddington is gonna get the Umbral Bind onto a few. That's a huge dunk coming out. They're gonna get two members here. The toss goes out from Garrosh. Paper just trying to retreat at this point. That is going to be healing coming out. And they have the Warden's Cage, and it doesn't get Garrosh, but it gets the other two members. They're just using it to buy time, as they should be able to finish this out and pick themselves up their first Punisher of the game. Garrosh just trying to invade here. This might be a bit of a bad idea, and nope, they get the pick onto the Maiev, so it works out for them. They stagger out of death, which makes it a little bit harder for them in this situation. Meanwhile, in mid, we still had that camp, and winning over the lane, it did have that extra minion wave with it, so that helped out against the enemy's minions, and I do believe probably Asmodan was throwing some lieutenants down there on top of it. That won't get too much value as Malthael is there at this time. Now they just continue to poke out with the Asmodan, as well as, ooh, the jump going to be coming out. A lot of damage bursting down onto Garrosh. And that is a nice pick with this Punisher, as it is just below 50%, and they'll be able to move it through through this top lane a little bit more. Malthael in that mid lane is going to be clearing it out fairly good. That is a nice Purification Salvo coming out, but the Punisher doing all the work in the world and just denying that with that jump at the last second. Root going to be coming out into Malthael, who rotated in here. Leviathan a little bit low. They could be the target of the last rites. Do they have? Nope. I was thinking they might have the Iron Skin to deny that, but it's not going to be happening. Starbuck getting the low here. JB Shed actually going to be going down to the Punisher. The Punisher equalizing that fight 7-7. Should have another jump, actually. Alright, goes down. I was waiting. There's a couple members who were kind of low there, and I was like, are you about to get jumped and smushed? No. So 7-7 in levels. They're going to be getting fair amount of push in that top lane. They are going to have periodic catapults, as well as some extra experience to be coming in their way on the side of Brawllace. This late game composition from them is really starting to take off, especially with the damage ramping up from that Asmodan. The other thing too is, honestly, is really starting to get some good combos and a lot of good setups from the friendly team to dump that damage onto a few of the members and burst them down. I mean, we saw Garrosh in that last push really get burst down from just one stun from the Punisher. That follow-up from Jaina was really on point. And now we kind of go into that reset phase. We're looking at about a half a level difference between the two teams, and we're looking at about also 16s, definitely for the members of Brawllace. Maybe not. They start to equalize this out. That is going to be the Warden's Cage coming out as well. Chromie will use the longest stasis in the game. They actually get the root out onto 2 other members. They're trying to dump this damage from the backline. Adadin is going to be targeted, but it won't be happening. Matrix Gate is the next one to maybe go down. That is going to be the Ice Lance connecting, and that will pick them off. Asmodean continuing to get those dunks out and get some extra poke. And now we have added pressure in that bottom lane from the camp being picked up. I wouldn't be too surprised to see some lieutenants coming out from Asmodean into that bottom lane. Paper will be targeted here. They're looking at 300 stacks. Gonna get pulled in with the Ember Bind. That is also going to be Jaina dumping some decent damage. And now... okay, I was thinking that's not going to happen. Starbuck will be in this bottom lane to clear out the camp. They do have a bottom lane Punisher next, and this is, I think, opened up for both teams. No, it's actually just more so in favor for Brawllace, as Phoenix does pick up the... well, tries to pick up the right-hand side camp. They're definitely going to be needing some help before they go for that next time. And will leash, and they'll just at least have just the one shaman. They could go for the invade onto this, but I don't think that's the plan. 16 to 15, and 15s are just on the precipice for the members of Baryonyx. Might not be best play for them, but they're starting to shark around. Leviathan does see it. The dunk goes out. That actually does help them out quite a bit, and they just back right out of there. They don't take the fight. Well, actually, no, they just start to move onto Paper, who is getting bursted down. The taunt goes out. That is going to be the Purification Salvo connecting onto a couple. The Ring of Frost connects onto, I think, one there, catching the foot of Malfurion. Meanwhile, in this backline, we have Adadin trying to get the damage out, and it looks like Chromie will be the one to really get the damage out. A 1-for-1 trade in that engagement. They do pick up their camp in favor for the members of Baryonyx. They'll be able to push that through top lane, and, well, it will get cleared up by the Jaina fairly easily. And the next setup for the Punisher is going to be in 5 seconds, so both teams will have a few minutes to get their, or for a few moments to get their teams kind of reconfigured and back into this game. We have a 8-second difference between these two teams on death timers, as Leviathan has moved here, but hasn't started out yet. And I'm just waiting with a little bit of a bated breath. Jaina is coming back into this. Maiev will be back as well. Garrosh on their way on top of that. Shrine has not been activated. It is a Frozen Punisher too. That's another thing to consider in this battle, is that this Frozen Punisher is going to hit hard. About 15 minutes right now into the game. It scales up per minute. So the longer this goes, the stronger it's going to hit, and we'll see which one of these teams is able to realistically win out in this, as we have some decent damage coming out from the Asmodean already. That is going to be the Warden's Cage with a Ring of Frost. Everyone getting shredded at this point. Malfurion goes down, as well as Phoenix and Garrosh, but they lose their Maiev. Dunk goes out, it connects onto Chromie. All that's left is Matrix Gate. They just walk away, and that is going to be the third Punisher of the game going over in favor for the members of Brawllace, and they can potentially open up this bottom lane a little bit more. They can take their time with this, as they do have 30 seconds across the board for all the other members. They will send the... okay, I was looking at the minimap thinking they would send Asmodean over there. Whitemane will start at the camp on the right-hand side. Jaina will be finishing up the bottom one. Joanna starting the left-hand side. So they're trying to get as much pressure going on this map as possible before the camps fade away during the Punisher phase. Asmodean will throw out a dunk. And actually, excuse me, I thought they actually disappeared. That's my bad. This map, they do not disappear across. They realistically should be just grouping up as a team to push this, but they want to have that mid lane pressure while this is going on. Everyone is just about back up from the last engagement. Joanna finishing the left-hand side. Whitemane has a long way to go. That will be Asmodean helping out, so they got to go a little bit quicker on this one. Okay. Punisher not baited over the wall either. Going to be working their way into this. Leviathan going to be taking a lot of damage. The Unstoppable is used. They won't have that in case Malthael does get them low and tries to go for the last rites. Asmodean just kind of waiting in the backline here. Going to have that dunk. That black pool will be available. Malthael, the first one to go down. That is going to be Malfurion with the healing as well, but a little bit too late. They could pressure this up a little bit more, but they don't want to. They're a bit spread around this slowing sands. 19 to 18, 20's almost there. They don't want to feed into that anymore. The longer they delay this, though, the better it is for them, because mid lane, as we talked about, is stacked. Double camp is going to get so much pressure for them. No bottom lane keep going down. Just some added pressure from Asmodean. They are going to stack themselves in this mid lane. If they can just get a little bit more experience, that is going to be 20's for them as well. Garrosh going to be eating the toss into the Joanna, and the B-Shuds is so... JB Shuds is so low. That is going to be the Purification Salvo onto Leviathan, and I don't think it's going to be enough. The Ring of Frost will be going out. That is also going to be the Warden's Cage. Two members are getting really, really low here. That is going to be the Malfurion going out. The Dunk connects as well. They finish their stacks. Joanna does go down, but that's a 1-for-2 trade in favor for Brawllace as we work our way into the later half of this game, and it is really looking good for the blue side. I'm just going to throw this over to just some of these stat numbers. We can just see what the Asmodean's done. Now, Chromie's still doing 71,000. And Starbuck almost getting hit by that dunk. That would have been definitely fatal for that Chromie. And Riddiger is getting quite low. They're going to need to back off of here fairly soon. Foul at Heart is so low. Dunk coming out from them as again, but no kill just yet. 20's not achieved yet for the members of Baryonyx. They will get the clear into this top lane. They save their mid lane keep as well. This is going to get down to the wire, it feels. While they do have kind of the map win, this later game really can spell disaster for the members of Brawllace. If they lose a fight, if they play too aggressively, this could go bad for them, especially with the death timers being about a minute for both teams. We do have Chromie clearing out the bottom lane. Going to be having a fairly easy time with that. They start... Oh... They do see that Chromie's not there. Phoenix just came back from death. Dunk comes out. They know that they're there. Paper takes a lot of damage. The Umbra Bind will connect it. The wall is in the way. They have the healing out from Malfurion with the Tranquility, and that is going to be... Oh. They don't step into the circle, and that is a Paper living, but... Whew, that was close for them. They stay alive. They wanted to take that fight when it wasn't 20. That's really the best way that you can do this on the side of Brawllace. I mean, yes, they can rotate around and get camps, but if they could get picks while the enemy team is down a level, that's the way to go. And that was really the best call, but so many good tools used there to keep the Garrosh alive. Without that staggered death, they burn a heroic, but we can already see it's got 40 seconds left. We have 16 for the next shrine. They shouldn't need it till, well, it's off cooldown, so this will work out just fine for them with that low cooldown on the Tranquility. Everything else, though, is off cooldown. Asmodean is going to be having the Black Pool soon as well. They are grouping up, though. They're moving together as kind of this Death Ball-ish unit because, well, that's the later game, and they want to get some of these kills. The other thing, too, they don't want to get picked off like we had it going in the last little bit there. They do need to clear out their lanes. They can't really go onto the shrine with the lanes the way that they are. They are going to split themselves, though. Chromie and Phoenix will be showing in this mid lane. Bottom lane is going to have some pressure. That's a lot of pressure that could go through the keep, but I think they're making the call to say if we either win this fight or we got to go back and clear, and they're going in for it. 21-20. Almost every heroic is off. Actually, every heroic is off cooldown. Toss goes out. That is going to be the Warden's Cage as well. Honestly, he's going to have the Ring of Frost. That is going to be the Purification Salvo on the back, but the Malfurion is the first one to go down here. We also have Maltheo going down on top of it. The dunk comes out from Asmodean. They pick up the Garrosh, and that is going to be Chromie. The next one is going to be JB Sheds, and with all 5 members dead, that is going to be Shrine picked up in favor for the members of Brawllace, and they move into this mid lane. They have the camp pushing there as well, but they can also jump straight into bottom. There's a win condition for them. I don't know if it's ending per se, but they leave their Joanna. She has some decent clear onto this. She does have the Burning Rage? That's not right. Holy Fury. So that does help her get that clear. So, you know, worst case scenario, you end up wiping with your team here. You at least have your Joanna sitting there and clearing out that. They do pick up the Punisher, but with 20 seconds almost across the board on average for these members, we're going to be looking at a core falling, and then it's going to be game number 1 going over to Brawllace. GG. Well played. Get into this.
Towers of Doom.
I love Towers of Doom. I think it's such a fun map to cast, and if it is potentially the last map that teams go on, like I always feel like teams just really bring it out for Towers of Doom. But if you did miss any of the information prior to this map, let me go ahead and catch you up. The coin flip was originally won by Brawllace. They went for first pick, so Braxis Holdout was then banned out by Baryonyx. I said Brian. Baryonyx. Baryonyx. It was banned out. Braxton sold out. Dragonshire was banned out by the members of Brawllace. I'm seeing right behind me that the Azmodan player from last game is just posting a sad face as they first banned the Azmodan, which makes sense. Shrines was picked up by Baryonyx and lost by them. So first pick, they chose for first pick. So our members of Brawllace are taking us to Towers of Doom. No Joanna, no Azmodan, and no Orphea are going to be making their way into this game. The question is, do they ban out that Mal'Ganis once again, or are they going to be taking away the Varian? Is it something that they don't want to deal with? That's what I'm not sure about. Also, if you're just joining and you didn't catch the stream title, we are doing Division 5. We were going to be casting the Division 3 game, but literally neither team member responded to me in a chat. So at the last second, I said, hey, can I cast your game? So we'll see. We'll see. Honestly, I might, like, I'm feeling pretty awake. I know I'm, like, middle of the game or middle of the draft right now, but I just want to see, like, if we can line up a second game, I might just jump onto one. We'll see, though. Let's go ahead and actually look at this draft. I need this. Jaina first pick on the side of Baryonyx. They're going to take away that poke, but they don't want it. We're just getting reverse drafts here. That's going to be a Garrosh with a Tychus. And the Tychus is actually a pretty strong hero. Vision, it would have to be at 8 o'clock. Ooh, hey, Ghost Dunk, what's up? Thanks for coming by. Okay, Garrosh and Tychus, first two picks for Brawllace. Jaina, Thrall, and Nubrak. Okay. Nubrak is going to be having some good engage, disengage. Thrall has great poke. Jaina has great poke, and I think that's just the realm they're going into. It's just a lot of poke. Beetles are strong for the Nubrak as well. As you use abilities, you'll spawn beetles. That's another good just shrine. It's just shrine interrupt after shrine interrupt. They do need to support though, and I would actually see both these teams just going for a pure support choke at this point. Maybe they take out that Malfear, and maybe they thought that was just a comfort pick, so that's why it was so early. But it is going to be the Lily. They don't want to deal with the blinds onto Tychus. Hey, this is Division 5, and I do think that is a completely viable ban. I absolutely can see that being a viable ban. They're also focusing on not banning out a lot of, they're focusing on banning out a lot of blind-based heroes. Joanna, Lily, so I'm wondering if they're going very auto-attack, divey kind of based, or just very heavily auto-attack based team, maybe kind of in-your-face kind of draft. Either then, I would maybe ban out a Rhaegar, but it's going to be Mal'Ganis. They don't want to deal with that spooky boy, that bat boy, that Tom Blaine series of bats. They don't want to deal with that. That was like specifically for one person in Twitch chat right there. That joke. Okay, let's see. They're going to need support. They're going to need a solo laner. I still... Okay. I guess I'm seeing it come together. Like, is it like a 7-sided, like, Divine Storm, like, lockdown, blow them up, single? I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at anymore. Alright, they do need support. They're going to need a solo laner as well. They could just throw with that.
The wait is over.
Blinds it from the Cassia. That makes absolute sense. If they would have just banned out Cassie, they would have taken every, like, blinding-based hero out of the game. And that's a Zagara! So I think what they're going to be doing is heavy rotation, dive onto a single target, blow them up, while Zagara rotates around the map and spreads creep and gets Nidus value post 10? I don't hate the drafts. I'm just confused by them. Like, it feels very like we're going into quick match right now. And I'm not trying to like BM the teams or anything. It's just I'm not seeing some of the synergies between these compositions. A ton of poke coming out from the members of Baryonyx. Like a ton of poke. Cassie has poke, Anubrak has poke, Thrall has poke, Jaina has poke, Right Wing has poke. And it's ranged. It's a decent range. Oh my god, I just... Excuse me. I saw Stark say and I just went, oh, it's a collection of heroes. Weird? Yeah. Yeah. No. All right, let's get into this.
Prepare yourself.
I don't know about everyone else, but I am super, super excited because I want to see how these two compositions work out. There we go. So on the left-hand side, we are going to be having Brawllace, with Rudger going to be on the Zagara, Fouled Heart going to be on the Karazim, Adadin on the Uther. We'll have Leviathan on the Tychus, and honestly going to be on that Garrosh. A lot of role swaps right there. And on the right-hand side, we are going to be having Baryonyx trying to take us to that clutch. Game number 3. We have JB Shed's going to be on the Thrall. We're going to be having Nitsi on the Brightwing. Paper will be on the Nubrak. Starbuck going to be on the Jaina, and Matrix Gate going to be on the Cassia. Let's go ahead and get into this. And so what I was saying, like Tychus was played by... Oh, hold on. Dive going to be going on to a Nubrak. Probably the one most mobile here. It's on the enemy team, and they almost get the kill. If that was anyone else, they would have definitely gotten the kill onto that hero. But a Nubrak was the first option, and they definitely burned it down, showing the kind of the prowess of this composition that they put together on the side of Brawllace. So really quickly, just Leviathan was their tank last game. Honestly, was their Jaina last time. Rudger was their specialist last time, and we're having Adadin was the Maiev player. So just some swaps here, some definite swaps. We are going to be seeing Uther go into that more auto attack based build, so that makes a lot of sense. If we are going to be having the person who was Maiev in the last game go on to the Uther, maybe they're looking for that extra sustain. They're worried a little bit about just getting bodied in some of these fights. We'll see as Cassia does dive in. They do have some poke coming out. Transcendence and double supports? Is that legal? That's, yeah. Because I was actually, I was half expecting this to actually be Iron Fist, where you'd actually go for the more damage-based build. I do like this play, though. You saw Paper was anchoring in this bush over here, just checking to see if they were on their camp. The rotations on the camps coming out from Baryonyx is really, really heads up. You can already see Thrall's working in this top lane. Adin is going to be working their way up here. I honestly think Thrall wins this 1v1. Camp is okay. Well, he's taking some advice from me. He doesn't have a lot of mana. He did let it leash. Oh, this is just the battle. I don't care what else is happening across the map. This is the battle right here. Thrall versus Uther. He's chasing it. They're chasing it. Doesn't look like it's going to be happening. Okay, we move back into our rotations between mid and bottom, and Zagara are going to be doing a decent job of spreading that creep around while Karazim pushes in bottom a little bit more. We do have a little bit of a fight breaking out, and honestly is going to be the first one of the game going down. Nice pick going over in favor for the members of Baryonyx. Once again, back into that top lane, JB Sheds, I do believe, just had to tap well. We'll be just using that Frostwolf to get some extra wave clear, jumping that around. They did go for the Crash Lightning, or excuse me, the Echo to the Elements at level 1, so they definitely were going to be in that solo lane position for the majority of this game. Now we have the triple altar phase to start us out here. And I would expect it just to be Uther Thrall at top and everyone else really having the party around this bottom point. But Matrix Gate might get caught out here. They don't have any lockdown just yet, as honestly was taking a long way around for that engagement. So we are going to be having altars activating in a few seconds here. And now we have the top lane. Uther going for their side, but Thrall not going just yet. They should be. They'll pick these both up almost simultaneously, and this is where the brawl is going to be taking place, as Brightwing is a little too far forward. They're going to be stunned out by Honestly for a second with that Groundbreaker, and they trade left and right. Uther works their way down in favor on the side of Brawls, and so they're now doing double support, and this is the hardest thing to kind of fight into in some of these situations, but Brawls going to be making their way down as well. We're going to be having Zagara try and dropping some damage into that backline. That is going to be the Anubrak working their way forward. They did use their burrow already, so they don't have a way out of there. They do get shredded, but the thing is, Tychus goes down as well. 1-for-1 trade. The Indomitable is going to be used from the Garrosh. They step forward, going to get another double Groundbreaker. Starbuck is really low on mana, though. That's a hard spot to be in. Matrix Gate is the target. They are going to be getting the toss. They turn around and they start to shred them. They do have the fend into the enemy to try and stay alive, and it seems to be working out for them. Foul at Heart is working their way over onto JB Sheds, and so many members are getting really low here on the side. Baryonyx. Actually, honestly, both teams are just getting so low here. I'm waiting for someone to get picked up. Paper is already back from death. So is Leviathan. I'm going to poke out with that grenade from Leviathan. They do have Foul at Heart diving in, and I don't know if that's going to work out for them. They do actually get away, but meanwhile, JB Sheds quadruple Groundbreaker. Nice. The Paper is going to be having the potential with the Burrow, but they don't use it. Okay. Apparently here share about us spamming in my Twitch chat, and it just threw me off there. But they do win that on the side of Baryonyx, and now you can see them working their way a little bit more through some of these lanes. Thrall does need to clear out the top lane to just push this up a little, push this out quite a bit more, and 7s are almost achieved for both of these teams. And at least to show you some of the experience values here, as Tychus and Garrosh will be picking up this bottom lane camp to push through and help Zagara get a little bit more value. With that laugh, it also means that the... Oh my god. It's just the boss, but I can't think of his actual name. Howl's Eve Knight? I thought I knew it, but either way, that is going to be spawning up at this time, so they will be able to fight over that for 4 more core damage. Sappers equaled out. They do have Zagara just spreading that creep around in that bottom, making sure that they get as much vision as possible. These Sappers won't make it to the gate, and that will be de-pushed as quickly as they can. That's a smart move. You don't... Like, bottom lane control is one of the most important things on this map. I'm confused by that right there. If you can control actually through bottom lane, you can get a lot of value here. They actually move their way over onto this with the double support. The double support is just going to be working their way onto the boss. All right, let's see. Can I... The Headless Horseman, of course. Oh. I think I can get it. Okay, yeah. It should disappear once he dies. Tychus may be getting scattered out here. No one going for this just yet. I love JB. Oh, JB Sheds is just gonna walk right by. This is a little late though. They're doing this super late, and the altars have activated, so they will get 4 points of core damage in their favor onto this core of Baryonyx. But here's the thing: Cassia just got bottom, so they just equaled that out, and Paper could be potentially getting this, as well as Niltzi. They do have the interrupt. They're coming in a little bit late to this. The toss does go out onto the Thrall. They're looking to try and turn onto them, but that is going to be a nice Matrix Gate engagement with that Fen. Going to get some decent damage out here, and we're going to be having Zagara poking in as well. As Medusa Blade is going to get some work and spreading that damage around. And now Leviathan is trying to find some extra damage onto one of these members. Paper is almost getting that full channel without even being noticed there. They do have the stun. Fen comes in. The Indomitable is used as well. They have another burrow in, and Leviathan so low, the Brightwing will secure the kill onto Tychus, as honestly needs to get out of here. No one else is dying on the side of Baryonyx as they continue to poke this out, but they can step forward and realistically get another pick if they really went a little further forward. Not going to be happening just yet, and they just continue to poke this out between the two teams. Fen comes out as well. They're starting to try and turn this. Matrix Gate actually... So the little thing just right there, help out your teammates. Just stand in front of those. Body block those. Either way, they delayed it out. The deaths pretty much are nullified. Or I wouldn't say nullified, but no, everyone's back from death and everyone's almost full on mana and health. We are having 10s really close for these two teams, and I want to see how this is going to change the dynamic, because on the side of Brawllace, they're falling a bit behind in some of these engagements. We can already see that there's quite a bit of disparity between the two core healths. We're going to be getting a little bit low there. Okay, so we're actually Draken Laser Drill. That is going to be also something of the storm, Divine Storm. 7-sided, as we called it in draft, and that is also going to be the Nidus for the Zagara, but mid lane has a 7-sided already breaking out. We also have that Warlord's Challenge from Honesty, so we'll see if they're able to lock them down and get that Divine Storm 7-sided, just that CC train, if you will, of just damage and pain. No one yet. I'm waiting this mid lane to see if maybe we have a little bit of a skirmish breakout, but they're just playing it safe by the gate. They don't want to go too far out. That's probably the best bet that they have. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Zagara continuing to spread that creep and make sure that they have those Nidus networks starting to go across the map. That's a big thing, is getting those Niduses to, one, be across the map, and two, and being able to access them and push up throughout your lanes. No invade onto that camp. A little surprising, but they do have an invade onto Garrosh, and the Indomitable is a little early, and they do not make it out alive. A nice pick right before this single altar phase. That does mean that they'll be back up just as it's starting out, and they can maybe poke at this here and there. This is going to be a big defense for the members of Brawllace. Nice. Okay, so Zagara's going to be the first one to go down, stepping forward to try and get the Roachling drop, which does stall this out for a second, but Leviathan maybe the next one to go down. That will be Jaina confirming the second kill. Seven-sided goes out onto JB Sheds. Starbucks is getting low here. That is going to be the altar picked up again, and now 20 core health to 32. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is Towers of Doom. This map, I have seen core health of 2 to 32, and it go down to a 1-to-1 core kind of thing. This map is, it's anybody's game. That's the most exciting part for me, at least. I love the way that Towers do, because you can't rush core. You get a 5-member wipe, and there's no boss, there's no sappers, there's really nothing to do across the map. Well, you gotta bide your time to the next altar phase, and probably have to fight over it again, because the towers on them are fairly spaced out here. We do have a little bit of a death ball starting to form, though, on the side of Baryonyx. I was wondering if they were actually going to turn onto the Uther here, but they just stepped in the bush. I don't think they got scattered out. And this is the one thing that I want to talk about, though. Bottom lane pressure. They're winning a lot of these engagements. They could realistically take that bottom lane pressure and hold it and just continually feed sappers in through their lane. But they're getting continually pushed out by Zagara through this. And if they could just kind of sit in bottom and let a couple of the other members rotate around, they might get more benefit that way, but they currently have the double stun onto Zagara. They have the Fen dive as well. A lot of damage going to be going out onto Rudiger, and they need to watch out for those dives, because either team, honestly, we've seen a lot of the dives onto paper go just shredding them like a piece of paper in these situations. That is also going to be Cassia getting the Nidus network burned down. That's taking those out is a big factor, because then Zagara has to burn another one just to, well, kind of have a well across the map. Boss is up once again. We do have a single altar phase breaking out. Foul at heart, maybe getting caught out of position. They do have the dive forward. That is also going to be the Earthquake coming out from Thrall. That is also going to be the Lightning Ball confirming the kill from a distance. The Draken Laser Drill comes down, but it doesn't do too much. And now, currently have Jaina getting a lot of burst damage going out onto Honestly, and the Indomitables used, but it doesn't keep them alive as Matrix Gate and members move forward. That is going to be the Web Rat going out onto Tychus. They can set themselves up right around this. They need to get the stun right out of there. Should be there. Oh, there it will be. They also pick up the tower, and that is going to be a 16-32 game. Members of Baryonyx showing up in game number 2 and really turning on the heat. This double support composition coming out from Brawllace is not doing everything they want. I think there was the intent of the single target lockdown and blow up, but unfortunately they're just not getting that. They move over to the boss. Smart call. No Tychus for the next 7 seconds. They can burn right through this. And it's a triple altar phase coming up next. This could be game ending for them if they do take all 3 altars during this next phase. But they're going to have to spread themselves a little bit thin if they want to do that. Realistically, actually, you could put Brightwing in the bottom, try and have them cap it, and then they can just phase shift up into the friendly team, because they're not spreading the Brightwing away too far. But it makes sense, because they're really realistically not getting into a ton of these team fights where they really need the Brightwing. Polymorphs, though, have been on point. They just have that Emerald Wind for a bad disengage, or to disengage from a bad fight, and now they can feed more stuff through bottom lane and also clear out. Oh, I was thinking they'd be clearing this out. Oh, a Nubrek, you have to be dismounted for that. For Burning Rage to work, you have to be dismounted. You can't be, which is kind of annoying, but kind of makes sense. Stun gonna go out, and yeah, they don't really have a dive or a burst on this. So triple altar phase. Bottom lane has some sappers coming through it. They could go for the double altar phases. Excuse me, I missed the entire engagement breaking out. That is going to be the Thrall going down, as well as the Anubrak. This is actually exactly what their composition was meant to do, and they get the value from it. That was a big play that I completely missed because I was looking at something else Brightwing was doing somewhere else on the map. We do have a turn onto Leviathan. That is going to be the Draken Laser Drill going down. They do get the clear onto that. That is also going to be the turn on to Garrosh. So 2 kills for 2 kills, but here's the thing. They deny the 8 points of damage coming out of the top lane, and they only take 4 themselves. They even up this game a little bit more, but here's the thing. It's still an 8-24 game, and bottom lane just went over in favor for the members of Baryonyx. This is looking like it's going to be a hard late game for the members of Brawllace, as 16 has also been achieved in favor for Baryonyx.
Our tower has fallen.
Now we have Zagara going up into the top lane. She will be able to just pick up these sappers without much work, because the rest of the team does need to kind of rotate around and push out their lanes once again. Looking at maybe Uther? No, just everyone playing behind the gate and playing safe. Siege Camp seems to be the next target for them. They do have vision on this through Zagara's creep. That will be cleared out, but there's really not much they can do, as it is 15 to 16 levels, and they don't want to fight talent tier down. Sapper's also going to be weakening top lane a little bit, but if they can feed these in, that'll be big for them. They do. Oh, there's a nice burr that comes out. A Fen comes out as well, and there is a ball lightning, and that confirms 1, 2, and potentially 3 members go down. And they feed in these sappers. This should confirm 3 more damage onto the enemy's core. And that does take them down to 5 core health. If they hold this bottom altar, or this bottom bell tower, the next altar phase will confirm that. It just put them in kind of this checkmate position. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to be in this position at this point, because, well, you've got everyone's going to be spawning as the altar phase starts, and they're already moving their way through mid lane, trying to just open this up and even just have an extra win potential with maybe 6 core points. But no one moving for that bottom lane, and they could just go to the top right and just realistically zone. As long as they zone and keep them away for the next 5 or 6 seconds, they're going to absolutely have this, and that seems to be the case, as that will be Matrix Gate picking this last altar up. And that will be the core getting hit for 5. The game number 2 going over to Baryonyx. GG, well played. We go to a game number 3. Azuki, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you for supporting the channel. Welcome, welcome. Alright. Best of 3 series. Game number 3. ARAM, please. It's the ARAM map. While we have these bans going really quickly, let's talk about some of the map bans. Coin flip was initially won by the members of Brawllace. They went ahead and chose first pick. Braxis Holdout was banned out by Baryonyx. Then we had Dragonshire banned out by the members of Brawllace. First map was Infernal Shrines, and that was won by the members of Brawllace with a very, very good Asmodean play. That's why we're actually seeing the Asmodean being banned out here. Second map was Towers of Doom, and that was chosen by Brawllace, and they lost. And now we go to Tomb of the Spider Queen. I love it. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for hanging out in Twitch chat and just lurking, and everybody. Even if you're not typing in Twitch chat and you are just lurking, I appreciate you. You're good people. Thank you. I'm glad you're watching Heroes Esports. Okay. Mal'Ganis banned out once again. No Mal'Ganis play this evening. Do we see the Orphea? They're considering. It's Jaina, actually. Okay. Orphea was one of the heroes that Baryonyx banned out consistently throughout this set, and that's a Gul'dan to start. An old, tried and true kind of wave clear, rotation heavy mage. Another mage that I've actually seen pop up quite a bit on this map is Kel'Thuzad. I'm wondering if we see a Kel'Thuzad player, or as we saw earlier, maybe even a Chromie. It kind of worked for Baryonyx early in game number 1. And the Azmodan really started to, pull away for the enemy team. So I wonder if that's what they go into later into this draft, obviously. But that is going to be a Thrall and a Stitches to start this out. We're going to be seeing Stitches, so we're going to be getting some hooks. We have the Thrall with some roots to follow that up. I wouldn't be too surprised to see something like a Tyrande or even a Malfurion follow it up. To follow up the Stitches hook with a stun with the Lunar Flare or the Vengeful Roots. But that's going to be a Kerrigan and a Joanna. Okay. Okay. All right. I mean, it's grouping. It's got good wave clear. They've got great fights so far. They do need a support. And something like, I don't expect it, but like Lieutenant Morales. Oh, real is your better bet. I was thinking like you could go Lieutenant Morales if you wanted to go for that old school battery pack kind of thing. But with the damage coming out, I'm not too opposed to the Ariel being banned out, and then that's gonna be a Brightwing. They didn't really like dealing with that Brightwing in the last game. The polymorphs on any sort of Kerrigan dive or any sort of pull in or gank could be just completely mitigated with that, and that's a nice tool and a nice heads up ban. I honestly expect this to be their support as well as some wave clear. Okay.
Ilneus will rise again.
There's a lot of things to pick, and I'm just surprised about the Lily. I'm not gonna lie. Why the Lily? I mean, Kerrigan blinds, yes. But I was just thinking there'd be more follow-up to the Stitch's hook. Gray main dives in. That's perfect. Says we get a white main, a Sally Thigh main, and we are going to be getting an Artanis as well. I like the Artanis, honestly, for the solo lane. They'll either go into the gray main. Oh, they'll probably go into the Thrall. They still need some sort of wave clear in their rotations. I'm trying to think, like, what might be your best benefit? There's the Kel'Thuzad. I don't know if it offers the best wave clear, but it definitely offers a lot of good engagement opportunities, and how they have to kind of group in and dive a little bit. That's going to be beneficial to get some of those chains off and land some of those skill shots to get those Cold Embrace stacks higher and getting that benefit from, well, being fully stacked and absolutely dealing buttloads of damage. But we got a draft. We got a game. Let's go ahead and load into this in just a second. Thank you all once again for being here. You're all great. Thank you. Thanks for watching esports and stuff. I was going through all my BlizzCon stuff because I was cleaning a little bit this morning. In one of the pockets of my bag, when I got back from Michigan, I was like, holy crap, I still have like a stack of Here's the Storm. Like, I have this many hero codes, hero and skin codes for a bunch of them. So we'll have to do something with that throughout this week. I do have like double cast tomorrow, so maybe we'll do a giveaway for each of those or something. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into this. Game number 3. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having Brawllace with Rutger going to be on the Artanis. We'll have Honestly going to be on the Gul'dan. Leviathan will be on the Joanna, Auden on the Kerrigan, and Foul at Heart rounding out the draft, and Team on the White Mane. And on the right, bringing us to this Game 3, Baryonyx trying to close out the series and pick up that second win. We have Paper on the Stitches. We're going to be having Starbuck going to be on the Kel'Thuzad. Matrix Gate will be on the Greymane. JB Shez is going to be on the Thrall, and we'll have Niltzi going to be on the Lily. Hook going to be going out right away on to a couple members, and holy crap, does the damage explode. 2 members going down. Baryonyx is just showing up and bodying at the start of this fight. Holy crap, I was expecting Gul'dan to drop so much damage. Also to note here, Gul'dan is currently sitting on 6 stacks of the Corruption and going to be getting more already. And that is a nice way for them to go ahead and start this engagement here. That was just, yes, thank you for that first fight. That is so good. Gul'dan already sitting at 4k damage too. That's huge. Hook gonna be going on to Foul at Heart, and they are getting so much put onto them, and that will be another kill in favor for the members of Baryonyx. Is this Kel'Thuzad like secretly their sleeper? Or is this just like, this just their map? I'm not sure about it. I'm still like blown away. That was a really, really good engagement at the start here. Boom indeed, yeah. Alright, so let's go back to this. So Paper and Crew are going to be making these 4-member rotations. We are going to be having the Thrall in the solo lane. It looks like that also will be the Artanis not in the solo lane, so it's a little bit weird to me. They get to pull in. This is a weird start. The solo lane matchups are not what I was really expecting. They get the rotation out. And now we continue through the lanes. Team of Spider Queen it's just a slow start map. But hey, they're gonna be working through and getting some of these gems here. Let's see if I can actually show. Is it 6 for gems? Yeah, there we go. Siege Camp will be picked up by that Greymane. Who I gotta like I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like Baryonyx throughout this entire series and the set has had really good camp awareness and good camp timing. Like that's a big thing for a team to have. Being able to be like, all right, well, cool. 1 minute mark, grab Greymane, go into that bottom lane, grab that camp, push up with it. They are gonna grab this Bruiser camp on the left hand side. And the one thing I was gonna note with this is that we typically see teams focus on getting this right before they actually have the turn in, and you can see the pickup rate, how they're just rotating and going for the gems. 52 gems already. They're 20 behind on the side of Brawllace, and they pick up their camp, but unfortunately that's going to be a turn in their favor. Well, actually no, Thrall might be the last holdout, as they are going to be letting this camp push up a little bit. They are going to be working on those Echo the Elements stacks as well. Kerrigan, I was waiting to see maybe they get picked off here. That doesn't seem to be the case. And we have once again Paper in mid lane gonna get heckled by a few of these members. And they just back right out of here. They do have the spell armor from this the shaman in the Bruiser camp push just gets nullified right away. They don't really allow much of it to happen. They take a little bit of gate damage. And Gul'dan gonna continue to stack up. 18 out of the 40 stacks necessary. We're seeing 9 out of the 30, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. For his blight stacks. And now we just have I like the poking out from honestly. That's a really good way to continue to do that, to continue to have vision in these rotations. Rucker gonna have the swap going out onto 1. They do have a nice stun from Kerrigan as well, but no one getting picked off here. The healing a little too much. They do have the rest of this turn-in available if they do want to go for it, but they're just at least baiting out a couple abilities, not allowing them to continue to get that as they continue to stack this up. The hook going out, not connecting, but there was the root right there in hopes that they would be getting it. Matrix Gate will finalize a few more gems, and they only need 6 more as almost a swap goes out onto Paper. I don't think it would have been their death, but it definitely would have been a rough spot to be in. And now I'm waiting and I'm just kind of like cycling around the map, looking and seeing what they're doing. JB Sheds is still holding on to gems. Don't want to get these in just yet. They're sitting on 20. That's a big part of their economy. We do have a fight breaking out there on this top lane. A lot of damage going to be coming out. Rediger in a bit of a bad spot. They do have the blinds, and that will be Artanis going down. Slow. Okay, they don't have the slam close enough, but they only need 3 more, and it looks like Greymane will be the one to turn those in. First Webweaver phase going over in favor for the members of Baryonyx. And it's looking like they're going for top lane push. Top lane is obviously, it's the boss lane, and it's where a lot of teams really try and end through or push through or have that kind of opportunity to win the map. Because Tomb of the Spider Queen, not the easiest to kind of end with. You really got to have a lot of pressure on this map to win it out. Granted, the experience changes have changed a little bit of how that works out, especially with how you gain experience as well. Swap going out onto 1, swapping Artanis with the stitches. They dive onto Paper here, taking a lot of damage, and I don't know if they're going to be able to live through this. They're getting a lot of healing from that Lily, and it seems to be going out just fine for them. Nice Webweaver Blast coming out, and Paper makes it out with just barely any health. No one else going to be going down just yet. They do potential... Oh, I was waiting. Do they have a hook coming out from Stitches to pull one into the backline? Not happening, as Foul at Heart is going to get dove on. They're going to back off right away. They want to get this top lane down as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, I completely missed it. JB Shreds is going to be JB Shreds for this moment. Going to be getting that kill onto the Johanna, and Rediger going to be back from death. Going to have this dash, but it won't be enough as they do go down. They do have the Glacial Spike out as well. No one going to be picked up onto that, and that will be Webweaver's just ending, but they might even have enough for back-to-back turn-ins. They rotate through their mid lane, and they could go for mid lane pressure. Yeah, they're 1.6 repeating what waves off, or I guess, yeah. That's not right. I can't do math. I'm counting I'm counting the 3 gems per. Either way, we do have 8 to 9, and 10s are on the precipice for the members of Baryonyx. And this is, as I said, game number 2, they were a different team. This game number 3, they are on fire. It's almost like they woke up. Game 1 was kind of like the stretching the legs, and game number 3, they're just like, all right, yep, this is where we start to turn on. But that will be Webweaver turn-in phase for the members of Brawllace. Having this kind of pause in the game is really big for them. The other thing too, they need to find half a level, and this could be the way that they do it. They have this Webweaver to kind of help them out here as the heroes share pops up on my screen for the 30th time tonight. Bottom lane, honestly, is getting chased out there. I was looking at the minimap, I'm like, wait a minute, someone's about to get picked off. No one just yet. They do deny this bottom lane from getting pushed in too much. swap going to be coming out from Artanis, sidestepped away. Meanwhile, in mid, we do have a nice pressure coming out, and they are going to get some value into this tower, but the enemy team does rotate up, and they burn this through, so it's not the most amount for them, but they're still able to kind of close that gap. They're able to get their 10s, and now they can fight on an even talent tier. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We are going to be having Gorge from the Stitch of Snow, Putrid Bile. Artanis is holding 10, and I'm wondering, do they just go for the blind to kind of nullify the Greymane dive and Thrall, or do they go for the Purifier Beam and try and slow a target and get them absolutely destroyed by a Purifier Beam? Like, once you get that 20 recast, it's obnoxious. I know I was casting with Cat Peach once, and we were just screaming because someone just kept getting someone just kept getting reset after reset onto that beam. But this is not the case. We are going to be having the blinds come out from them. Suppression Pulse. It offers another interrupt. Oh my god, the blow up going to be going on to the Artanis, and they are able to get so much damage out, and they end up getting the kill onto them. They could chase for more if they want. I don't think Stitches has a hook available, though JB Sheds is going to be able to get this turned in. That should confirm another Webweaver phase for them. Oh, excuse me, no, they're only a couple more off. They could push up this top lane a little bit more and have the Webweavers descend further down the lane. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, though, as they are going to be rotating down into maybe bottom lane. I want to take down more forts as well as push up quite a bit more. The hook goes out, and honestly, almost got hooked and killed there. That would have been a dead Gul'dan. And yeah, they're just going to be pushing through bottom lane. Top lane has some decent pressure. It will have a catapult coming into it, but this is where all the action will be taking place. Let's go ahead and get into this, as we do have a chain going out onto one connecting. That is going to be the Shadowfish onto a few others, and they're getting a lot of damage out. Whitemane will have the healing for the friendly team, as they're starting to push through this bottom very easily. Blinds come out from the Artanis, slows us down for a hot second. That will also be the Horrify coming out to separate some of these members, and they're a bit spread apart. That is going to be the Jugs coming out from Lily. Not enough, as Kael'Thuzad will be going down, Sundering to interrupt this, and they are a little too deep, and they're starting to chase this. Paper is separated from the team. They give up on that as they want to get kills onto something else. That is going to be Scarlet Aegis to just give the extra armor, and they get the kill onto the Greymane. This Webweaver phase turning a little south for them, but here's the thing. Top lane, it's just gonna stack up quite a bit, but mid lane should be a free fort in favor for the members of Baryonyx, and top lane, it's gonna be knocking on this gate quite pressed up. This Webweaver should get the clear onto the minion wave as well, and that will pressure this very, very hard. They need to make a quick rotation to this top. We can already see Gul'dan has Hearth back for mana, as well as getting some pressure into this. And the Webweaver will be falling and won't be getting a ton of value, except for just that front gate, and the well won't be taking down any sort of keep anytime soon, as Gul'dan will have some decent clear onto that. Still, though, that's a lot of damage going out really quickly onto this keep, almost down to half health. Webweaver phase is over. Turn it available for the members of Brawllace. What can they go for?
Shatter their constructs. Deliver the gems to my altar.
They don't have enough return, and they're about halfway there.
Enemies.
Looks like they're going to want to go for this Bruiser camp on the side of Brawllace, and then they can maybe pressure that with their Webweavers, but they're a little bit late for this. I think they were maybe trying to catch them in a rotation that wasn't happening. They do pick up the Siege Giants for bottom lane. If they can deny this turn, then that'll be big for them. That's a big play that I think they're going to need to try and make. Pressure up into this. I'm like waiting with bated breath. Greymane goes in. Violet Heart takes a lot of damage here. The chain goes out, doesn't connect. The Shadowfish is there. Just roll your face across the keyboard and make sure. I mean, if they got that chain, that would have been a dead Whitemane. That is also going to be the Sundering coming out, as well as the blinds onto so many of the members. That is going to be the nice chain into the backline. JB Sheds is very, very low. They're trying to find a kill onto them. That's not going to be connecting just yet. So many members are falling low as the chains go out once again. As the Shadowfish is not connecting on anyone. Paper's the first one to go down in this brawl, and now they want to turn on and find another kill. That is going to be another chain going out. That finishes the Master of the Dark. Stacks for Starbucket, but do they end up falling here? They end up getting a lot of damage out, but Kael'Thuzad does go down here. A lot of big poison coming out from Gul'dan, who does finish their Echo of Corruption stacks from that level 1. And now with 2 dead, they can go ahead and get this Webweaver return in phase. But here's the thing. Top lane, it's going to spawn at their keep. Mid lane, a little bit okay. It's going to get deep pushed right here. And bottom lane is just, so realistically, once again, this Webweaver phase was just kind of buying time and just pushing out the lanes. And the longer this game goes, it's going to be more and more risky, and I'm more and more worried about the plays for Brawllace as this game goes on, because Baryonyx, while they have lost a few engagements here, their Webweaver pressure that they've already applied since the early game has allowed them to have that extra catapult in the lanes, which will kind of win out for them. Matrix Gate taking a lot of damage. That is going to be the Blessed Shield coming out, as well as the Cursed Bullet. Horrified denies a lot of this engagement on top of that. Excuse me, not Horrified. The Echo Corruption stacks, or the actual Echo of Corruption, is getting a lot of damage out on these members. My brain right now, apparently I haven't drank enough water yet. Okay. Top lane gets cleared out. They move on to mid lane. This might be a bit of a, it might be a little too far forward here, as they do have a huge blow up coming out. Kerrigan's the first one to go down. They do have the jugs coming out as well. That is going to be the Glacial Spike coming out. They're trying to get a pull in. That is going to be one of the members getting chained and gorged. They drop all their gems. They dump them right in front of this tower, and that is a kill onto the Artanians. 3 for nothing, and this entire Webweaver push is going to be ending with a lot of deaths and a lot of long death timers. They don't have enough for the turn-in. They're sitting, I think, like 6 or 7 away. I can do math on the fly, I swear. But at this time, with their 16 talent to your advantage, they could pressure for a boss if they go quick. The death timers are a little low. Realistically, they're going to be going for this Bruiser Camp. Makes a lot more sense. And now, if I'm seeing this right, they have Fishing Hook. Yes. So we're going to be seeing some... I'm waiting for the Fishing Hook plays. Because this is basically a kidnap composition, it's fully arrived to its potential. Honestly, seems to be the one who's targeted. They're setting up for that angle onto it. Hook goes out, and that is going to be a dead Gul'dan. And losing 17 gems on top of it, that's a big... Oh. They do pick up all the gems, or majority of them, so either way they don't lose a ton, but with that pick-off, they're going to go ahead and say, alright, well, boss is now in our sights because we also have enough for Webweaver Turn-In. This is what I was talking about earlier. Boss Webweaver Turn-In together is a very, very powerful tool, and they're going to be going for that. They are sharking around. This is a little risky if they try and go for it. The Horrify is not available since the Gul'dan is not there. JB Shez does have the, oh my god, that is going to be the blind coming out. They have the Sundering to come out as well, but it doesn't seem to be enough, as no one has gone down just yet. Paper's a little bit low. They do get the Gorge onto the Kerrigan. So many members are falling low. The Scarlet Aegis will be there on top of that. They get the Artanis first. Audidin is in the backline with the Stitches, and they're able to get this separation with the Gorge, and that is going to be 2 members gone. Now they move over for the Webweaver Turn-In, and that is going to spawn right down with the boss. That's a powerful turn-in and a couple picks that they just got there, and realistically they could rush right through top lane, go for the end here, and that's what I would expect this team to do. While they could get more pressure through some of these... Paper, where are you going? Oh, trying to get that angle. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna shut my mouth. Gel'Thuzad trying to get chained. That is going to be the Horrify a little bit early just to deny them. That does push. Oh, the Curse Bolt comes out onto Leviathan. The Unstoppable is used. They are going to be getting that healing out from Whitemane. Webweaver, though, is working its way through this top lane. That is also going to be the blind coming out from Artanis. They're trying to get this, and honestly, it's so low. They end up getting the pick here, and so many members. Look at the poison damage coming out from Gul'dan. Starbuck is going to be going down. They have so many members low here. The core is losing its shielding. That is going to be the Sundering coming out. The Kerrigan goes down. That is going to be the Artanis going down as well. Foul at Heart is a little bit low and trying to keep Leviathan alive, but it's just these two. They're targeting one of them. Hook goes out. It does connect onto Foul at Heart, and that should be a dead Whitemane. The Webweaver is on core. Leviathan goes down as well, and that is going to be game number 3 going over to Baryonyx. GG. Well played.